Right, I think this is working now. Just recorded everything and there was no sound. Love that. Welcome back, YouTube friends and family, and anybody who's joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. Today we're going to be looking at two lights that have been sent out to me by Zhiyun, not sure how you say it, but it's one of those. Zhiyun Tech has sent out the X100 MOLUS 100 watt bicolor light, and they also sent with it a 5-ray 20 watt RGB light, which has loads of cool little effects on it. But I thought in this video I was going to do a few setups for you guys to check out what you can actually create with these two lights. I didn't want to go down the traditional route of just giving you full specs and details and shining some lights over lights and making some pretty b-roll. I couldn't be bothered with that, so I thought I'd go through some light setups. I went on Shot Deck, I found some shots that I wanted to kind of recreate, and I thought in this video we'll do that together and it will be fun, and hopefully you'll be able to see what you can create with these lights and the quality and the type of light and the type of looks you can achieve with these lights. So I hope this helps you guys out there. If it does, please hit subscribe and also leave me some comments what you think about the videos, the setups, or what do you want me to do next on the channel. I'm always up for feedback, so please do that. But before we get into any setups, let's have a quick look at the overview of these lights and how they're put together and the accessories and stuff that you're going to get with them when you purchase them, and then we'll jump in to the setups. So yeah, let's dive over and have a look at the build on it. So the MOLUS X100 is a really small, compact, powerful light that's battery powered or mains powered. It has a fan on the rear that helps to keep the light cool in operation, and overall it's really small and great for different types of shooting. Now it comes in this little soft carry case, which inside houses the light, the battery and some power cables, and also underneath the light there is the reflector dish. Now the light itself is a plastic and metal construction, and weirdly on the side of it there's lots of flammable warnings. One that says keep away from inflammable objects, which I think is an actual typo. But on the light itself there's a few buttons and also mounting points on the bottom and a power connection point. Now on the side there are two metal dials, one which dims the light and one which controls the CCT, and if you press these dials they will jump from different CCT colours or different powers in light. Now the battery just clicks into the side of the light, and then you press the red button on the back, which if you hold it down pops up, and then you just need to rotate the dim light to power on the light, and wow, it is super bright. Now as you can see, the operation of the dials is pretty smooth and pretty flawless. I haven't had any problems, and the dials feel pretty solid and robust, and I think this light is overall well put together, even though it does feel a little bit plasticky in construction. Let's have a look at a few accessories you can get, one being the Bowens mount adapter. So this allows you to basically put this on the light into the mini adapter on the light, and then it opens it up to being a complete Bowens mount sized adapter, so you can use a different array of diffusers and softboxes, which is absolutely really useful. And like I say, it just clips on to the back of the light pretty easy like this. Now the next bit is gonna be the little mini softbox that you get with this light in the Pro Kit, and yeah, it's alright, it has a grid and fits on, and it's really small and yeah, useless. The 5-ray M20C, wicked little light, really compact, comes with these barn doors which are metallic, and the whole thing is made of these magnetic parts, so you can actually take bits off. You can take off the honeycomb grid, you can take off the actual diffuser of the unit as well, which is really good. It's in this cage which on the back has like a magnetic strip, so this will magnetize to lots of stuff, and you can take this off to strip it down to just this tiny little square light. It is really bright for the size of it. On the back you have the two dials again, which are plastic. You hold them down and the light will power up. and then you just use the dials to dial through the different settings, which are HSI, CCT, effects. There's a music mode on here, so it will play with the beats. You can change the RGB and shift those around, and then just go through all the effects. There's tons of effects on here, from fireworks, police car, flash, pulsing. There's just loads of different ones that you can go through. So it's real versatile little light, and it's really bright for the size of it.
So this video I used a couple of extra bits that you can pick up on Amazon for fairly cheap, and this was 2 black sheets that cost me about £5, a shower curtain which I use all the time, which actually is pretty big, it's about 2 meters by 3 meters, a bag of clips, and the essential gaffer tape, which always should be in your kit, and also don't forget your cat to help you out. Also, let's not forget, need a couple of light stands. I use some cheap ones from Newer. Oh, and we need some foam core card, which I picked up from a DIY store for about £4. So these are a couple of shots that I set up. The first one was in a bathroom, which is just a horrible white bathroom, so the light is bouncing everywhere. So what I did was turned off all the lights. I used the black sheets to create like a shadow and just block out all the light over me. And then I had the camera set up below, just pointing up at the shower. As you can see there on the iPad, I've got the control for the FX6 so I can do all the shots. And then I had the X100 MOLUS pointing up into the ceiling, which is bouncing off all these white walls, and then it hits this white card here, and that gives me a nice soft wrap around my face. And I had the 35mm lens here with the Nissi Athena diffusion on it. Now I used Shot Deck for a few reference shots just to give me a couple of ideas and how I wanted it to look, and just trying to get that nice cinematic bathroom scene, and this is what I came up with. Now, as you can see, the light bouncing up into the ceiling really gives a nice soft light coming down, and then over into the right hand corner of the scene, I did actually use the 5-ray little light just to push a bit more light into that white card, just to give me a little bit more nicer wrap on my face. And then I graded this with just a basic grade in Premiere Pro, and it looks okay. For the next scene, I wanted to create something in the bedroom. I wanted to create this kind of look like someone's reading something over the side of the bed, or just sitting on the side of the bed and getting some light off the lights in the bedroom. So what I did for this was I used the shower curtain and taped it to the actual doors there, and put the white card up the side, and then shot the X100 straight in to the white card, so it's bouncing through that diffusion. And I then matched it at 2700 to match the colors of the lights, and then used the 5-ray to do the backlight on me there to just match this light on the back, which is the practicals, which are 2 here. So yeah, this scene is me reading a book, and then the light is nicely wrapping around the front of my face, so you can see that. I'm getting a nice little bit of backlight off the overhead 5-ray, which is giving a little bit of splash of light onto the bed as well. Now, all these scenes, I have only used the 2 lights. If I was lighting this in a proper scene or more professional scene, I'd probably use more lights just to help me fill in some of the shadow areas, but this is basically just with the 2 lights. And I want to say that these lights aren't pushing at 100%. I think this one was actually 100%, but the one before in the bathroom was around 30%, so it's not a lot. You're getting a lot of light out of these little fixtures, and the trick is to actually try and make the light feel like it's coming off the lamp. So here I've gone for probably a little bit more harsher light, because that's a light bulb that's just bare, so you're going to get a harsh kind of quality of light off that fixture. So that's something to think about when you're trying to light your scenes. So yeah, drop some comments below and let me know what you think of these lighting setups, as I'd be really interested. And once again, this was graded in Premiere Pro. So the next scene that I wanted to do was a coffee scene, someone drinking directly into the lens, quite a close-up shot. Now, the location I chose was in my lounge. Now, this big window here lets a lot of light through. So I wanted to use this just to show you what you can achieve with these two small lights when you are actually trying to combat quite a large light source. So I had the X100 on a light stand there, and then the 5-ray just pointing into the back wall, just giving a bit more illumination into the background, and the barn doors on the 5-ray actually help keep the light off the subject. Now, I put the white card there, and we're bouncing the X100 straight into the white card to give the reflection off the white card to illuminate my face. Now, the X100 is at full tilt here at 100%, and we're matching the outdoor light. So this is the overall look we got. Again, this was graded in Premiere Pro. And what I've done is I've just used a power window just on the left hand side just to pull down there, but we've retained all the detail in the highlights there, and we've got a really nice wrap of light around the front, because what we're doing is we're bouncing that X100 in to that white card, and it's giving us a nice bounce back of light, and it gives a really good look to this image. I'm really liking it, especially for just two lights.
So let's talk a little bit about these lights, who they're for, and some negatives and stuff along those lines. Now, I've watched quite a few videos about the colour reproduction on these lights, and for me that's an interesting one, because with LED light it does tend to skew to a green or magenta shift the more you get down to the lower levels of the light. So as you dim the light down to lower percentages, you do often find that LED lights do shift from one way to the other. It's just the way the LED works. So for me, that isn't massively a negative point, but if you are somebody who's using these really in a professional environment, then that might be an issue for you. I think one of the main negatives for me is going to be probably along the cost of these lights. Now, these lights, especially the X100, MOLUS X100, that comes in 3 combo packs. So you've got the standard, the combo pack, and the pro pack, which comes with different variant accessories. So this goes from £200 to £400 if you look on Amazon at the moment. Now, that's not a bad price for these lights, but for me there are a lot of good lights out there at the moment that are falling in this price point. I think this light, one benefit that I do love about it is that it is very, very compact and powerful, which means if you are somebody who is traveling and you can't drive to locations for shoots like documentary stuff, then this light is going to be a really good light for that kind of work. In fact, I've done a little setup here. I used the Aperture mini dome with the X100 just to do a basically key light, so you could see the kind of look you could get in an interview, and then you could probably take something like the M20 and just use it as a rear kicker light on your subject, and you could get a really nice looking interview setup with just those lights, and it would be very, very portable. So for me, I don't think there's tons of negatives about these lights. It's hard to have negatives about a light. I mean, it is a light. What else can it do? It lights up, and that's about it. These lights have just got a very niche kind of area of being compact, and they're going to be great for you new filmmakers who just want to be able to move around and create different scenes, which is kind of what I was trying to do with this light today. The conclusion are, yeah, great lights, really think they are good, definitely worth the money they are asking for them. For me, the 5-ray 20C is probably my favorite out of both of them. I think that's a really useful little light to have in your kit, especially with the barn doors, the modifiers, full RGB effects. You could use that in many scenarios. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, thumbs up, always hit subscribe, and I'll see you on another video soon. Appreciate you guys tuning in.